Oops. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, welcome. Sorry to interrupt the lunch conversation, but we do want to get through our presentation. We've got a kind of limited time, so we wanted to share some information with you today. I'm Jay Joseph with Honda. I'm joined here by my colleague Sue Bai, who will also be presenting about our level 3 autonomous. Actually, she'll be talking about some connected vehicle work. And we're joined by our colleague Yuichi Sugimoto in Japan, who will be talking about our level 3 autonomous driving vehicle today. So if you don't mind, we're going to get started. Thank you, Sue. As I said, it's my pleasure to join you today, and it's my honor to introduce my colleagues Sue and Mr. Sugimoto, who you'll hear from in a little bit. But for us today is about Honda sharing our experiences toward genuine collaboration to fundamentally change people's daily lives and improve society in general. Why would we do that? To help tackle the challenges that none of us can ever tackle alone, but collectively as an industry, we can all contribute toward changing the world. And we've been hearing that theme consistently over the last couple of days. The challenge we're facing, whoops, oh, I think I'm one slide behind already. Here we go. Oop, now I'm too far ahead. You're getting a preview. All right. The challenge we're facing in automated driving is likely one most of us have a feeling for, but few of us have had a chance to think about deeply. As we strive to move toward higher level of driving automation, we certainly have technical challenges, but perhaps even greater are the challenges of developing the standards, policies, and regulations that will govern driving automation, not to mention the behavioral adaptations needed to transition from driving vehicles to becoming occupants. That framework of standards, policies, and regulations will need to be created to help ensure the safety of society, and it will be based on the understanding and confidence of society. It's hard to pin down people's level of confidence in automated driving. Certainly, there are surveys like this one from AAA last year that says only 1 out of 10 people would trust a vehicle to drive itself if they were an occupant in it. On the other hand, we've witnessed people's confidence improve when they begin to understand how these technologies work through detailed explanations and how they could be regulated to help assure safety. And finally, once people experience the technology firsthand, we can see and measure their confidence rise significantly as they adapt to a competent system taking over the elements of the driving task. And while we know there are clearly designated levels for driving automation, not everyone may have had the opportunity to look at them simply like this. Probably the biggest thing that jumps out is that there is a clear, big hurdle right in the middle where we'll need to transition from you driving a vehicle to you not driving and ceding control to the vehicle. Sure, everyone commonly thinks that the further up the scale means the more advanced you are. So it seems a company might be tempted to posture to get people to think they're further up the scale in terms of driving automation. Compounding that confusion is even more is that there are different technical approaches taken by different companies with different goals and different philosophies under the overall umbrella of driving automation. There isn't much effort to differentiate and clearly communicate this activity. So it would make sense that consumers perceive that companies like Uber or Tesla and Honda and Cruise are all doing the same thing. But in reality, the different philosophical, conceptual, and technical approaches make a big difference. For example, the approach for a mobility as a service vehicle made for transporting goods might have 2 priorities. Don't get involved in a crash and deliver the goods on time. However, a vehicle created for a personal mobility may share those 2 priorities and add in the comfort, or at least avoiding the discomfort, of the human occupants. Those distinctions will affect a lot of decisions, including capabilities, tuning, and costs. A vehicle created for personal mobility will need to support the human occupants and should strive to reduce their anxiety and stress, enabling them to arrive at their destination rested and comfortable. As a result, in light of the need for automotive brands to differentiate themselves, There are and will be significant differences between vehicles created for automated personal mobility and MaaS vehicles, possibly even affecting when and where they can travel. Personal vehicles may adopt a go-anywhere concept, while MaaS vehicles may have more restricted programs, even prescribed routes in limited areas where they may operate only at certain times of day. Looking at how we have approached MaaS at Honda, we've partnered in the development of the Cruise Origin with GM and Cruise, not only for the US market, but also for Japan, as we announced back in January. That's one of the approaches Honda is taking in the MaaS space. But today, we're talking about our work in driving support and driving automation of personal vehicles. As mentioned earlier, within the pursuit of automated controls for personal mobility, there is a big step up from L2 to L3. And there probably is a natural desire to be the first to achieve it, or at least make the average consumer think that you were there first. Humbly, we've been working on this in true Honda fashion, slow and steady, since we established a program in 1986, 35 years ago. That started with a vision, and we've learned a lot along the way. We even showed automated driving technology at an ITS Smart Highway demo project back in San Diego 25 years ago. Now, on a personal level, some of my closest friends and colleagues, most capable colleagues from Honda on 3 different continents were part of this project, including Sue's division director in our Ann Arbor, Michigan research office. When the demo for this got to the stage of showing it to elected officials, the woman who would eventually become my wife worked in Honda PR before I'd met her or worked at Honda. So I have a personal connection to that demo as well. And it's already been 7 years, I'm one slide behind again. Robert, can you click ahead? Thanks. And it's already been 7 years since we made our first US demonstration of an automated driving vehicle technology in Detroit in the summer of 2014. That system was capable of automated lane changes and impressed passengers with its level of sophistication and smooth operation during a few hot summer days in Detroit. I think we were on Belle Isle. What I remember most about that demo were the attention that the car got from other motorists. It looked like a spaceship had landed on the roof and they were all pointing at it. And how every passenger commented on how remarkably smooth and capable the system was, especially when changing lanes. From there, we have become the only company in the world that has created and brought to market an automated driving level 3 vehicle. Today, we're here to share our experiences. And I realize that's what most of you would like to hear, and I'll soon hand this over to my colleagues to do just that. But first, I'll share with you why we chose to sponsor this Power Lunch session. Can you click ahead again, please? Thank you. At the highest level, there are 2 fundamental reasons. First, we genuinely believe it is possible, and we are genuinely striving to create a collision-free society. And second, neither Honda nor any company or entity can create that collision-free society themselves. We've heard that theme of collaboration throughout MBS, starting with Swami's opening comments yesterday morning and consistently since then. And Honda echoes that same sentiment. In April, our global CEO, Toshihiro Mibe, evolved and expanded new meaning into the phrase powered by Honda. Historically, powered by Honda has been a respected slogan in racing circles in terms of reliability, tractability, and all-out power. It's a phrase that has always been born out of internal combustion engines, and it means a lot to the biggest producer of internal combustion engines in the world. Last year alone, we made roughly 30 million of them. When I became a hardcore Formula One fan in the 1980s, a friend asked me if I knew the 3 most feared words in racing. I didn't, and he said, powered by Honda. That's part of my affinity for this company, and I love that our CEO is breathing new life into that phrase just as we're on the fringe of perhaps regaining some of that F1 glory. But what Mr. Mibe did was he evolved that slogan away from its internal combustion engine focus to becoming the power to support people around the world who are trying to do things based on their own initiative. That's the kind of expansive thinking needed to tackle the challenges facing society and the world today. Now at Honda, we operate on core principles. One is blue skies for our children, imbibing us with a sense that we have a responsibility to future generations to minimize or eliminate emissions and harm to the environment. Another is making vehicles that are fun to drive. The third fundamental is safety in the workplace and in the products we deliver to our trusted customers and are trusted by our customers. From the beginning, our founder's mandate, the man whose name is on the side of the building, Mr. Honda, said there is no production without safety. Almost 20 years ago, we developed the safety for everyone concept, seeking to democratize safety features and challenge the industry to do more than was required. One of the first initiatives was to develop our our ACE body structures, advanced compatibility engineering body structure, with the goal of equally protecting occupants and the other vehicle involved in a crash, regardless of the physical stature of the vehicles. Step by step, we've applied this philosophy now to active safety, seeking to protect all road users and ultimately working toward that collision-free society that we envision. If we can positively impact society by collaborating across the industry to proliferate technology and share knowledge, it's something that we take very seriously and we hope to lead by example. Our original top-mounted airbag system for passenger airbags, more recently our hot stamp door ring technology, and just last year, our next generation passenger airbag that helps reduce brain injuries in oblique angle crashes. These are a few examples of sharing across the industry for societal benefit. With respect to driving automation, the technologies that can be developed but cannot come to market without the appropriate regulations in place. And the regulations cannot be established without society's understanding and confidence. Ultimately, the level of value of that technology can deliver to society is dependent on the quality of the regulations that will be put in place and the understanding, confidence, and respect that society has for them. In our genuine pursuit to deliver new value to society, today, we will share our learnings from the process of achieving L3 model designation in Japan with the hope that it can help advance driving automation in other regions. With that, let's turn to the topic of driving automation. This is our roadmap toward 2030 for the development of automated driving and advanced driver assist systems for personal vehicles. You'll see this slide again, so I won't go into a lot of detail. I will point out that our concept has been to recognize the relationship, not just between ADAS and advanced driving systems and how people interact with and perceive them, but also the relationship between the types of systems as illustrated here. It's this understanding that we can use to help people adapt to using these new technologies effectively. In the safety support area, in a moment, I'm going to welcome Sue to share our work in vehicle to everything connected technology. But I'll start with just a word about Honda Sensing. We've applied Honda Sensing and AccuraWatch to over 5 million vehicles on US roadways. The specific features and technologies that deliver those functions will continue to evolve and improve, and you can see the core feature set here. What you can't see is the tangible benefit of these systems. We first applied our collision mitigation braking system, CMBS, to the 2006 Acura RL back in 2005. We've expanded and evolved those capabilities over the years. So we're narrowing that down for this purpose to a more capable modern systems. We've done some number crunching, and based on recent IIHS and HLDI research, and we believe the application of FCW and AEB to the 5 million vehicles that we've sold since 2014, August 2014, have possibly resulted in the reduction of more than 20,000 rear-end crashes that would have occurred without the technology. Of course, every crash involves 3 elements: a vehicle being operated in an environment, basic Haddon matrix thinking. We're talking about vehicle technology aiding and augmenting the skills of the driver. When Sue comes up in just a moment, she'll give you an update on the environment improving safety outcomes by communicating with both the vehicle and the driver. So thank you. And with that, I welcome my colleague Sue Bai.
So we're going to focus the next section on the connected technology. This is, again, it's our ADAS technology development roadmap. On the lower left side, lower right side, you can see the V2X connected vehicle as an essential piece towards our technology evolution towards the collision-free and the fatality-free goal. Honda has been conducting and leading connected vehicle research in the US for more than a decade. What you're seeing here is the map of a US 33 smart mobility corridor in central Ohio, where we already deployed more than 200 connected vehicles using Honda Associates commuting traffic. And also Ohio DOT, Department of Transportation, are adding 800 more vehicles as we speak. We're also exploring options on equipping intersections. For example, the smart intersection we built in the city of Marysville, which I'll talk in detail later. With the collaboration of government and industry partners, we are building the world's most highly populated V2X environment in that region, not only for Honda, but for everyone, because the system is interoperable, for everyone to work together to advance the V2X technology to improve transportation safety and mobility. This is the smart intersection photos. The reason we emphasize infrastructure is because, as you can imagine, in the early deployment days, there are only limited number of vehicles to create meaningful interaction to avoid a lot of collisions. But the infrastructure instantly provides early benefit. And that is why we're working with the local government closely to set this example of how you can turn an infrastructure into a future environment when all the road users will be connected, regardless of whether they are equipped with V2X technology or not. I'll show you a video to explain further.
It's able to do things that our eyes can't.
Oh, sorry, can you? Yes.
It's able to do things that our eyes can't do, our ears can't do. So this technology moves us beyond where any onboard sensor is today.
The vehicle is traveling towards the intersection, about to make a right turn. On the right side, a pedestrian is about to cross the street. And before the vehicle and the driver could detect the pedestrian, we issue a warning.
Pedestrian crossing. Check your surroundings.
So the driver can slow down the vehicle immediately. In this scenario, a driver is about to run a red light.
Vehicle approaching intersection.
But with this early warning, the driver is able to apply brake to avoid a disaster. Well, since our fleet deployment in 2018, we have had more than 1 million miles traveled. And on the lower left side, you can see the vehicle-to-vehicle interaction among Honda Associates vehicles is about 147,000. But if you add on the smart intersection, which uses infrastructure to bridge the unequipped and equipped vehicles, that interaction doubles, more than doubled. And for the safety benefit, we look into the warning that the system generated, which is showing the future is here. The safety benefit is already being realized. On the right side, there's a signal phase and timing interaction, which means the signal controllers out of the 27 signalized intersection in the city of Marysville are communicating with these Honda fleets. And that technology not only enable safety applications, for example, red light violation warning, but also by providing precise timing of the signal phases to the drivers. The driver now have a way to control their acceleration, deceleration to ease the smoothness of the traffic and therefore provide some fuel economy and environmental benefit as well. So some of you probably know there are some uncertainties in the US V2X or connected vehicle deployment. Some are caused by the Federal Communication Commission's recent decision of the spectrum reallocation. Honda continue to look for other solutions to advance this technology. We have been working with Verizon Wireless to explore 5G mobile edge computing technology. The uniqueness of this technology is it not only has the potential to achieve what the existing V2X technology can do, but also have the very powerful platform to compute the threat assessment at each individual vehicle and road user level and send warning indication directly to that user or vehicle. And that opened the door for vehicle and infrastructure sharing this threat assessment. This can be extremely helpful in a highly congested environment where there are overwhelming number of vehicles or road users nearby. This is a video to introduce how that system works.
Now, Honda is collaborating with Verizon to research the use of 5G technology for connected and autonomous vehicles. 5G wireless technology has the potential to ensure fast, reliable communication among vehicles, road infrastructure, pedestrians, and motorcycles. 5G technology allows auto OEMs to move the artificial intelligence from the vehicle to the mobile edge compute (MEC), reducing the need for AI on board each vehicle. Honda and Verizon recently demonstrated their joint safety research at M-City, a connected and autonomous test facility in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Superfast data transmission is essential for connected vehicle safety. Using Verizon's 5G ultra-wideband, mobile edge computing, and the V2X software platform, Honda and Verizon demonstrated 3 safety scenarios. A pedestrian is crossing the street at an intersection. An approaching driver cannot see the pedestrian due to a building obstructing the view. Smart cameras mounted in the intersection relay information to MEC using the 5G network. MEC detects the pedestrian and vehicle, determines the precise location of road users, and sends a warning message alerting the driver of the potential danger.
Well, this session is all about how to overcome challenges. Knowing that the new technology for new vehicle production may take a while to realize, and for us to bring the V2X safety benefits to the customers, we have started working with our dealers, Acura and Honda dealers in Tampa, to explore retrofit solutions for V2X technology to let our customers to see the benefit earlier. And this is a part of the Tampa CV pilot program in collaboration with U.S. Department of Transportation. As you can see what the vehicle looks like on the right side with a heads-up display that provides audio and visual warning. We believe we're the only, of course, first automakers to work with a dealer directly to explore retrofit solutions to bring the benefit earlier. This certainly demonstrates Honda's commitment to advance the connected vehicle technology to realize the collision-free and fatality-free goal. Thank you. Next, I would like to introduce my dear friend and colleague, Sugimoto Yoichi-san, the Executive Chief Engineer who led the Level 3 automation system development in Japan. Yoichi-san, please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I'm very sorry for not being there in person. To avoid the connection trouble, I have recorded a video in advance. So could you start the video? Hello, everyone. From here, I would like to talk about Honda Sensing Elite that is equipped with Traffic Jam Pilot, which is an automated driving level 3 function. Honda Sensing Elite is equipped with 5 functions, including the automated driving system, Traffic Jam Pilot. As a new step in advanced safety technology, it was installed in the Honda Legend and launched in Japan in March 2021. It received the model designation of automated driving level 3 from the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism. This is the world's first mass-produced vehicle equipped with the automated driving system, which we will deliver to our customers. I will explain the background of the development of traffic jam pilot. We want to prevent as many road accidents as possible in the real world. For developing safety technology, we analyze various accident data. Looking at the causes of traffic accidents, almost half of the accidents on the highway occur during low-speed driving, such as traffic jam. You can see that most of them are caused by human error. If there is a way to reduce the driver fatigue and stress that causes human error, traveling will be more secure and enjoyable. Automated driving technology is a technology with great potential that allows the system to perform recognition, prediction, judgment, and operation on behalf of the driver, significantly reducing the driving load and helping eliminate human error itself. Therefore, we are moving to a new stage, starting with the development of Honda Sensing Elite with Traffic Jam Pilot and advanced safe driving support technology. There are three unique functions of Honda Sensing Elite. The first is a function that supports lane keeping. The second is a function that supports lane changes. And the third is Traffic Jam Pilot. I'd like to introduce two functions in the video. One of them is active lane change with hands-off function to support lane changes. The other is our automated driving level 3 Traffic Jam Pilot.
右車線を確認してください。車線変更します。左車線を確認してください。車線変更します。
These are the main components of the system. Equipped with 5 radar sensors, 5 LiDAR sensors, and 2 front camera sensors, it has 360-degree detection around the vehicle and can grasp the entire situation around the vehicle in great detail. Also, the driver monitoring camera watches whether the driver is ready to respond to a request to take over the driving responsibility from the system. This shows the driving environment conditions of Traffic Jam Pilot, which is typically referred to as ODD, Operational Design Domain. The traffic jam pilot works when some of the conditions shown here are met. First of all, you know the position on the main highway with high accuracy. When the speed of your car and other cars ahead and behind becomes slow, the system will drive and the driver can watch videos accordingly. However, if you are driving in bad weather, such as heavy rain or snow, the system will likely not engage. In Level 3 driving automation, one of the challenges is the safe transition of driving responsibility from the system back to the driver. The driver needs to take over driving immediately if the conditions of the ODD are no longer met. The takeover request is presented in an escalating sequence, first visually and audibly, and then tactilely. If the event of an emergency when the driver cannot respond, the system slows the vehicle while ensuring safety, pulls the vehicle to the shoulder if possible, and performs an emergency stop to help achieve a minimal risk condition. To better ensure the vehicle can perform an emergency stop when required, the critical chassis control functions, such as braking and steering, and the power supply, all have redundant system designs. This concept was presented by Honda ahead of others in 2017. The emergency stop assist notifies the driver with a warning sound and vibration when there is no response after the driver is requested to take over driving. If the driver still does not respond, the system starts decelerating, activates the emergency flashers and sounds the horn to alert the surrounding vehicle as it stops. After stopping, it contacts the call center via the HealthNet connection. Regarding automated driving, it is extremely important to fully explain to customers about its correct usage and functional limits, and to maintain the vehicle by staff with sufficient knowledge and skills. In Japan, we have prepared an environment to help ensure customers are satisfied with peace of mind through careful explanation by sales associates who introduce the new technology in an easy-to-understand manner. We also have thorough after-sales service by service personnel who have acquired specific maintenance certifications. In addition, high-precision map data is automatically updated periodically by connecting to the server. Currently, it covers 90% of all motorways in Japan. Next, I will show the driving image video. Next, I'd like to introduce how we have cooperated with stakeholders in putting Level 3 automated driving into practical use. In Japan, the declaration to be the world's most advanced IT nation by former Prime Minister Abe in 2013 triggered the progress of public-private partnership efforts toward the practical application of automated driving. The photo in the upper right shows the former Prime Minister Abe taking a test drive in the first demonstration on a public road in late 2013. Since then, we have had continuous communication between the public and private sectors while presenting demonstration test vehicles at the ITS World Congress and the workshop of the SIP, Strategic Innovation Promotion Program. This is a Japanese public-private partnership project. In 2014, the Public-Private ITS Initiative Roadmap was issued with a targeted milestone of Level 3 practical application to personal use cars by 2020. Toward this goal, the Ministry of Land Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism and the National Police Agency began working on system development, and the Charter for Improvement of Legal System and Environment for Automated Driving System was issued in 2018. Through this government and industry collaboration, we developed better awareness, understanding, and confidence in the technology and the regulations. Subsequently, 2 laws were amended to allow the sale of automated driving Level 3 vehicles from April of 2020 in Japan, and it was the first in the world. One of these laws is the Road Traffic Law. This is the amendment of the law to allow the use of automated driving system on public roads. The other is Road Transport Vehicle Law. This is the amendment of the law that stipulates safety standards for an automated driving system. The key point of the law revisions is that you can watch videos and operate the navigation on the Navi screen while the system is driving. According to the law, it is even allowable to operate your smartphone. However, Honda does not recommend it, since you must be ready to take over control when requested by the system. When you operate your smartphone, there is a high possibility to focus on it too intently, and then you may not see the alerts requesting you to take over the driving from the system. On the other hand, the advantage of using the Navi is that the vehicle will alert you through the Navi screen, and it is easy to quickly notice the alert and retake control of the system. Additionally, it is often misunderstood that automated driving means anything can be done. That is not the case. It is not permissible to sleep, and of course, it is not permissible to be impaired in any way. The guideline regarding safety technology for automated vehicles prepared by Ministry of Land Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism states a requirement that there should be no accidents resulting in personal injury or death that are reasonably foreseeable and can be prevented in terms of the safety that must be met by advanced automated driving vehicles of Level 3 and higher. To put it simply, automated driving vehicles should not themselves cause accidents or collisions. This is the biggest challenge to realize automated driving. Honda emphasized safety and reliability above all else in the process of developing automated driving. While there were no established standards or regulations for the development process of automated driving, in order to achieve the highest possible system safety, we built our own development process that incorporates international standards and regulations. We corresponded from setting safety goals to design verification of system specifications, comprehensive support for implementation validation, and completed the development in a process that we believe can be called the state of the art. This is a description of the validation activity. We extracted the information from traffic scenario and performed over 10 million simulations to comprehensively consider traffic scenarios on Japan expressways. During that time, the demonstration experiment vehicles traveled about 1.3 million kilometers on highways all over Japan, and the analysis results were continuously fed back into the simulations to enhance the correlation with the real-world results. Through this activity, we were able to realize a new system that can help ensure higher safety and reliability. I will introduce this development process with a video. This is an actual video of a demonstration experiment on a Japanese highway. We verified various scenes when driving on the highway. We collected data on actual driving scenarios and verification of the environment, such as road structures and the influence of weather. In the real world, we met various conditions, such as lane restrictions due to sudden interruptions, road construction, and tunnels. And while collecting this data, it was also reflected into the verification in the simulation. We corresponded to various events in the real environment by repeatedly simulating verified scenes that are difficult to reproduce, which led to repeated improvements toward a safer system. Finally, Jay is going to share our overall thoughts with you, and then we will have time of some questions.
Thank you, Sugimoto-san. For those of you who don't know the time change, it's going on 2 a.m. in Japan. So that's part of the reason we wanted to have a video of that section, but thank you for joining us live, Sugimoto-san. Now you know a little bit more about what our L3 system does and how it does it. And as Sugimoto-san pointed out, another important aspect of this was to have an environment that allows the Honda Legend to operate with L3 automation in Japan. Here we go, sorry. This is the recipe we followed. And it may be a good guide for how to pave the way in other markets as well. We worked with regulators and law enforcement to update regulations to allow L3 operation. We engaged our dealers to assure appropriate customer education when deciding if the technology was relevant for those customers and for their driving. And we, as Honda, spoke directly with the customers, with the public, to set clear expectations on how our system works and how it would interact with non-automated driving vehicles on roadways. This recipe may not be right for every market, but it does show one pathway to success. That said, the US poses some unique challenges for the adoption of L3 automated driving. We'll have to work through discrepancies between state regulations. The system itself has to be tuned for US driving behaviors and characteristics. We'll need to work with insurers to make sure that the vehicles can be insured. For all of that to happen, we need to pull together as an industry maybe even based on standardized language and explanations of features, so we can improve and move our industry forward. With that, thank you. And we'd love to take any questions you have in the last few minutes we have today. Thanks, everyone.
Do you have, did you have some advanced questions, Jay?
We do have a couple that we got beforehand. Let me find these. The first one I think should go towards Sugimoto-san, and it is, how will our Honda L3 system expand beyond traffic jam pilot? What's next for us?
I think about the expansion of ODD is the probable possible next step. Maybe the next step will be the so-called highway chauffeur that can be driven in high-speed range in highways.
So expanding the operational design domain to include high-speed driving on probably divided highways initially, just to maintain safe operation, but expand the capability of the system. Thank you. There's one for Sue. You might have to weigh in with your personal opinions on this. Sue, what's better, DSRC or 5G?
The $1 million question. I think we're open for all options now that FCC is trying to make a decision for the industry and stakeholders. And that's why we're also looking into 5G with Verizon Wireless to see which is the best way moving forward.
And we have a question over here, audience.
Hi, good afternoon. Damara Gato, Meshu. Have you done any studies on the aging U.S. population of drivers? It seems that this technology will be very helpful to some family members that I have that are becoming a little older, and it's getting difficult for them to drive themselves. And this looks like it has a lot of safety benefits for it. Do you see that as a growth market for this technology? And what do you think about that?
Thank you for the question. I think, that's obviously a driving factor in Japan. So Sugimoto-san, if you want to address the impact of the aging population of Japan, maybe we start with that, and then I can fill in some blanks on the specific question for the US.
Let me answer in Japanese. I'll ask for interpretation. もちろん高齢化の問題は日本の方が深刻になっています。
Of course, in Japan, the aging population is much more of a situation than compared to the US.
我々の自動運転あるいは ADAS に取り組む大きな目的の一つは、やはりそういう高齢者がいつまでも安心して運転を続けられることにあります。
One of our objectives to develop advanced ADAS and automation feature is to accommodate aging populations and mobility needs.
トラフィックジャムパイロットはオートメイテッドドライビングレベル3の第一歩ですけれども、この技術をさらに進化、あるいは ADAS に応用することによって、そういう高齢者の運転をサポートしていきたいと思います。
And we aim to improve the mobility service for the aging population through evolution, technology evolution in ADAS and automation features.
Thank you. We're lucky to have Sue with us. Not only is she a very skilled engineer, but we're not working on her doctoral thesis, but also she's multilingual, so that helps. Here in the US, we haven't done detailed studies on aging with respect to automated driving. We have in terms of crash protection. We've done detailed studies on frailty and fragility of the human body for crash protection. We haven't done that level of analysis on the US yet, but very similar to Japan, what we see is expanding the use case for personal mobility dramatically, and the potential for this to allow people who otherwise couldn't operate a vehicle themselves, or not confidently or not for long durations of time, at both extremities of age and for many other factors, we're very optimistic about the potential to expand personal mobility to a lot of people who don't have access to it today. And we think that's exciting because mobility is so essential to economic development and many other things. So in the US and around the globe, that's a very exciting potential.
Hey, Jay, on that note, it is 1:20. And one thing about Honda is we keep the schedule. So we want to give you enough time to get to your next thing. So how about one big round of applause for our three panelists. It was really our pleasure to share this with you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And just before you leave, one quick round of applause for our colleague, John Dierig, who's retiring this week. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.